Ooh, so you know that right there? That's called the Western medical trap. The trap is that if sleep is the problem, then sleep is what we go after. Herb Gotti, and this is not medical advice. But the trick is that trying to figure out what's causing your sleep not to be sleeping. You see, herbs for sleep won't really help with sleep. In fact, they'll actually cover up the problem, especially if your body is trying to express that there's a problem with your sleep pattern. For example, say you could be not sleeping because there's parasite activity. You could be magnesium deficient, and that could be because you have acid reflux, GERD, indigestion, poor ability to process the magnesium that should be coming in from your food. Stress, anxiety. The absence of vitamin D messed that up too. So essentially what this all boils down to is using something to put you to sleep when your body's trying to express that there's a problem with the sleep might actually be counterproductive, because what that ends up doing is forcing your body to find another way to express the same problem that's still there. Because Western medicine, all they want to do is focus on one thing, which is the final expression. But it's not the final expression. It is the who, what, when, where, why, and how that got you to this point. And contrary to popular belief, it could have taken 10, 15, even 20 years to get to this point, because I'm sure it hasn't been something that you've been living with for all this time, but it may have just started to express itself differently. Usually within 5 to 7 years, that's when the body finds a new way to express an old problem. Because this system teaches us not to listen. Same way men don't be listening sometimes, you know. Oh my God, clouds, real clouds. And on a totally unrelated topic on metal toxicity, which has absolutely nothing to do with the real clouds that I just so happen to see today, sometimes metal toxicity might actually play a huge part in whether or not you can get a good sleep or not. Like really, the list goes on. So yeah, most of the herbs probably won't work. And even if they did work for a short period of time or gave you some measure of relief, it still never got to that root cause. So if there's any place to start, it would be to make sure that you got all the ends covered, making sure that you are getting every amino acid and every trace element, mineral, and electrolyte up to at least 1.5 to 2 times what your normal allotment should be, and then making sure that all of your electrolytes are properly balanced. That means making sure that your potassium and sodium ratios are, between like 4,200 milligrams of potassium and 4,700 milligrams of potassium and 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's a good ratio. But having less or more of one or the other, that makes for a bad ratio. In essence, the body is always looking for us to be able to provide it with the balance that it requires. And, we don't really have much out here, but we can definitely start there. So make sure all the trace elements and minerals are filled in, and then move on to the next step. That's when plants and herbs will actually start to enhance, because at the end of the day, we don't want to start using plants as though they're medicine, because they are not the same. And using them in that same philosophy actually still allows the philosophy that we're trying to break ourselves out of to continue to exist. Peace and good health. Herb Gotti out.